Hey chat. Hey chat. Wait. So. I'm actually kind of curious, right? I'm actually kind of curious. Is Nintendo trying to cease and desist everyone trying to talk about the Pokemon leaks, and especially the weird Typhlosion and the weird fucking whatchamacallit, the Slack King incident, the Typhlosion, the weird Octillery or whatever the name of that one Pokemon is called or so. The weird octopus one, you know? I'm curious if Nintendo's trying to cease and desist. No, I'm kind of curious.
What's up, trainers? This is the Act Man here, and today, Pokemon is the greatest franchise ever. I have so many fond memories of capturing all the pocket monsters. And like me, you should continue purchasing all Pokemon-related products online or at your local retailers. Also, be on...
Dude, Pokemon Sapphire, dude. Alpha Sapphire and Sapphire were so fucking fun, dude. Honestly, I still have Pokemon Alpha Sapphire, and sometimes I just want to play it sometimes, you know, just kind of, you know, level up Pokemons and all this shit.
On the lookout for any games,
my favorite two Pokemons will always be Garchomp. It'll always be Garchomp and Gardevoir together. Before they nerf Gardevoir, because she used to be only a psychic type, right? But then they completely like nerfed her and made her a fairy psychic type, which kind of sucks in my personal opinion. So like this was my team that I ran in Pokemon Sapphire. I ran with Metagross. I ran with Garchomp, Gardevoir. I ran with Milotic. I ran with what's his name or so? Argon. Yeah, Argon. I don't fucking know its name. I don't remember its name or so. And then my starter Pokemon, Swampert. Sometimes Argon. Sometimes Argon would be sometimes I would change Argon for Flygon sometimes here and there. So it was sometimes changed to Flygon for Argon. So it's just kind of like, it's basically like 7 Pokemon I used to ran with. So like that was basically like my main team or so that I ran with.
products that
I have I think like 2 or 3 shiny Rayquazas on Pokemon Alpha Sapphire or so from like random trading.
Be
it was pretty fun.
This incredible IP. We can't have anything tarnishing the beloved Pokemon brand. Be sure to report these criminals to your local authorities and... Oh god. Keep purchasing Pokemon products, please. Please help. Help
Take
me.
a shot.
Help me, they're right outside. Help. Shit.
The important thing to know is that I fired at him, right? And I missed.
For God's sake.
No, I missed. Whew. Dodged a bullet there. What's up, everybody? This is the Act Man here. And today,
really?
Nintendo's assassins just tried to execute me. But since they only brought 1 round, we're kind of at a stalemate.
Peace out.
They're still sitting outside my house as I record this. And the reason they're there is I intend to talk about their recent lawsuit and the big Pokemon leaks. Nintendo? Recent lawsuit? Which one, Act Man?
Have they lost yet on that lawsuit yet? I think they should lose that lawsuit in my personal opinion, because they didn't get the patent until like 2 or 3 months after fucking Power World was already published.
Good one. Yeah, right? It seems like Nintendo is always on the warpath when it comes to litigation. Obviously, any company has a right to protect their IPs and their brand, but I think we'd all agree Nintendo is overzealous. Let's be real, guys. Nintendo would sue an orphanage if they found out an Italian kid named Luigi lived there. They have a long history
that is so
taking
true.
down YouTube videos that have gameplay of Nintendo.
Yes, people forgot that literally fucking Nintendo was copywriting people who were playing Nintendo games. Okay, let's not forget that fucking Nintendo did that. Okay, let's not beat around the bush here. Okay.
Nintendo games. They've sued modders and destroyed channels that archive music where Nintendo doesn't make that music readily available. Would you believe it? I was going through the history books and it turns out they also tried to sue Blockbuster in order to, pun intended, block them from renting out video games to people.
What? Really? Nintendo once sued Blockbuster for renting out games? Bro! Bro! I did not know this was a thing. Holy shit, dude. That's crazy. That is the most dumbest thing I've ever heard in my entire... I swear to God, the people at Nintendo are the most oldest fart people I've ever met in my entire... These are like literally old ass people that literally don't know the new generation, to be honest. You know, honestly, I can't wait till the new generation steps up and replaces these old farts, because honestly, they need to retire, in my personal opinion. I think they're losing their minds at this point at Nintendo. They need to be replaced with like some new fresh and blood, you know, in like head hold employees over there. They're so money grab. Yeah, they're not even doing anything with them. That's the funny thing about it.
Nintendo later sued Blockbuster again for reprinting manuals, and the two settled out of court. The point is, Nintendo's always been insatiable and out for blood when it comes to litigation, and that hasn't changed in the last 35 years.
Of course it doesn't.
And recently, they declared that they were suing Pocket Pair, the developers of Pal World.
That's
we all
stupid.
Love Nintendo's games and what they've created over the last 40 years. And some folk are so passionate that they make their own non-profit fan creations. They try to preserve games.
I want to play that version of Pokemon. There's been like Pokemon Uranium is one of those Pokemon games that like it's a really cool fan mod one, and then there was another Pokemon game where you can like fuse, when you can like do some fusion Pokemon together, and you can fuse Pokemons together, and then you can make some like new combination. No, they really don't care.
Games or emulate them. And Pal World was one of those games that really seemed to take inspiration from Pokemon and iterate on that formula in a way that Pokemon simply hasn't, or at least hasn't pushed far enough. The bottom line is that Nintendo has a terrible reputation when it comes to preserving their games, making them easily available. No, we're not going to re-release this game. If you want to play it, pay $500 for it on eBay, God. But don't pirate it. Don't you dare fucking pirate it. Emulation? More like cease and desistation. Man, that was really bad even for me. So many fans see fit to take matters into their own hands to preserve the games they love. And
you know the funny thing about it, right? Specifically, I haven't paid a single dime to Nintendo ever since anytime I ever want to buy a game or something, right? I always buy it from third market parties, because you want to know something? Nintendo doesn't deserve my money whatsoever. They really don't. Also, another thing is, like, if I want to buy a Switch or something, right? Like a Nintendo Switch, I'd rather buy it from a third-person market price than buying it from the store so Nintendo can get that profit. I'm like, nah, buddy. You don't get shit from me. My friends who emulate Monster Hunter Rise after months of release from Switch kick W. Like, I found out, like, I know one of Mudahar's videos or so, apparently, like, I did some research or so, and apparently you can transfer your Switch games onto the PC. Which I did manage to do that for one of my games, because I borrowed my sister's Pokemon what was it again? Scarlet. There you go. I borrowed her Pokemon Scarlet. I first initially played it like just normally or so, but it was shit. It was pretty shit in my personal opinion. And then I saw a video or so on that same night or so on Mudahar. It said that you can like transfer your Pokemon game on PC. So that was just like, okay, I'm gonna try that. It took a little bit to kind of do that or so. It was kind of a bit of a pain in the ass, but I did manage to transfer my save file. I got my prod key and whatever, all that mumble jumble shit. I managed to get it to work. It took me a while or so, but I managed to get it to work. And then the following streams after that was me playing it on PC. Cause I thought maybe my $2,000 PC will make this shit run better, right? Incorrect. It does not. It's literally like the game itself. It was so shit that no matter what I tried or so, it still ran like garbage. So, so even if I would have played it on the Nintendo Switch, it would not matter. Even if I played it, because it was my sister's Nintendo Switch. And even then, even if I played it on the PC, it didn't fucking matter. So I was just like, you know what? I'm not going to bother with this. I'm just going to play the PC version of it. I'm not even going to even bother playing the online. I honestly, I don't really care much about the online services for the Nintendo Switch anyways. Even if I have my own Nintendo Switch, I really don't care about the online services. I really generally don't. So it's just kind of like I'm not gonna use it, you know, because I know that like about like what most of the time that Nintendo's online service is like the worst apparently. So their infrastructure for the online shit is just fucking terrible. So yeah. I always wanted to talk about how sad Nintendo became such hard asses over the past many years. Sad the company responses are the American solutions. Throw all lawyers and lawsuits till the problem goes away. Instead of doing it the old-fashioned way by innovating and being creative like they had in the 80s and the early mid-90s. Yeah, it's sad to say that the owner of Nintendo passed away or so, you know. And unfortunately there's some dickhead or so that's kind of like running the show over there, but they're being such an asshole about it, you know. I'm hoping he gets stepped down or so, or he retires and someone else better takes over, you know.
And Nintendo may be full within their legal rights to take action against people. It just sucks that it has to be this way, you know? But there's a lot to talk about with this Power World Nintendo lawsuit. And this is yet another story in what happens when games get leaked. If you watched my reviews of Power World, Scarlet and Violet, you know that I've felt disillusioned with Pokemon as of late. I feel like the series...
Yeah, Pokemon Scarlet is pretty fucking terrible. I still haven't played the DLC yet for that game. I have the DLC. I haven't even bothered playing it or so. Maybe one day we'll play the DLC, but yeah.
Series has gotten ridiculously stagnant. It's 10 times easier to beat a Pokemon game now than it was when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
And Game Freak just seems like they're really, really lazy. So I'm sure I'm not the only one who found the formula and style of Power World so refreshing in like an insane kind of way. Let's go slavery. Let's go slavery. Power World still sits as the game with the third highest all-time peak concurrent player count on Steam, which is no easy feat to accomplish, but
That's crazy in my personal opinion. I mean, Pokemon has a monopoly over RPGs, so they're not particularly inclined to make innovations, but of course this creates competition within the genre. It needs competition, and if fucking Nintendo does not want to have, well, Game Freak, I should say. If Game Freak doesn't want to have fucking competition in there, they're probably, like I said, I don't buy any of their fucking games. I really don't. I hardly play any Nintendo games at this point, you know? Just because they're a bunch of dick asses, you know? I don't care. I really don't care. Honestly, they're just the most biggest, fattest douchebags I've ever met in my entire life in the gaming scene, you know?
These days, the game has only retained a mere fraction of that audience. Regardless, I thought the game was really fun, unique, and that it had that sort of innovation I've been hoping
I still need to play the update. For this game.
To see from the Pokemon franchise. Nintendo and the Pokemon Company, on the other hand, were not happy at all with the success of Power World.
It should have been me, not him!
Which again was developed by Pocket Pair, which is also another Japanese company. And that might be important because maybe Nintendo is trying to get rid of some of their internal competition. Now, we all saw the similarities between some of the pals and some famous Pokemon. Nah, I don't see this one. Pikachu? Nah, Sparkit came first. Some of this shit really is blatant. Like, let's just flip the teeth upside down. Yeah, same thing with the teeth and the eyes. Even the trident, you know? They had certain color schemes that were very similar. Lucario and Anubis. So yeah, looking at these comparisons.
Yeah, but if you do your research or so, right, on Anubis, right? if you do your fucking research on Anubis itself, it's a dog. Like, he's always been depicted as a, you know, as, you know, wearing a headdress of a dog. Well, I don't know. I don't really know the history, but like, you know, I mean, what do you expect? You know, like, honestly, like, what do you truly expect out of Anubis? You know. Honestly, like, what do you truly expect from Anubis? Like, there's not really much you can do with the design of Anubis. You know, he's a jackal, right? He's supposed to be like a jackal, right? Or some kind of dog or something, right? Question mark. You know, it's kind of like what do you want Pocket Pair to do, you know? A puppy. It's like, what do you want them to do, you know?
I think we all expected Nintendo and the Pokemon Company to clap back with some kind of lawsuit. Little did we realize it wouldn't be for copyright infringement, but a patent infringement.
What?
That's right. Nintendo isn't suing Pocket Pair because of these designs being, you know, copied. If you guys remember, there were allegations that Pocket Pair had literally ripped Pokemon assets and just slapped their—
This is fake. This is 100% fake. The person apparently like the person was trying to fake all of these. So.
their own skin over it and made very few changes. But here's the thing. If Nintendo can sue someone for copyright infringement, they're going to. Nintendo would sue themselves if given the opportunity. But what's strange is that we haven't learned the exact reason or what exact patent Nintendo is suing.
Yeah, he's a jackal. Imagine doing a dog design, you get sued by Nintendo. I know. Tell me about it.
For. But many
watch me make like a Pokemon clone game and be like, no, he's not throwing a ball. He's throwing a cube. Okay, all right. You guys are doing it incorrectly, and he's not throwing it. He's shooting it out of a rocket launcher. Okay, all right. It is completely different from your guys' Pokemon gay game. Okay, all right. That's all I'm saying. You know.
Many have speculated on the reason why. As for what type of patents Pocket Pair might be infringing on, I have a few theories. A few game theories. Can't do that anymore. I heard some people talk that maybe they have a patent on like catching critters with a ball. I don't know how you patent a mechanic like that, but if they can do it, Nintendo and Game Freak will. I can't really think of many other games where you catch things and then they live in a ball. I've also heard people say that—
isn't it that one game, Tim Tams? Isn't Tim Tams or whatever the fuck that one Pokemon clone game on Steam is called? Doesn't that have the same mechanic too as well? Question mark. Doesn't that have the same? Yeah, Temtem. Doesn't Temtem use fucking Pokeballs too? Question mark, or some kind of catching form mechanic? Just like Pokemon. Oh, but they use like cards. That's what they use. Take care.
the way the ball opens as a mechanic in video games, I think Powwhirl's balls open in two halves, while Pokeballs have a latch and open like this. So I don't know if that's the case. Maybe Pocket Pair can get by on a technicality. I really don't know. Regardless, I think most people are rooting for Pocket Pair to come out on top in this scenario, given that they're going up against giant evil corporation. Now, in this PC Gamer article, they interviewed somebody who's a patent lawyer who basically said that Nintendo is taking a pretty big risk pursuing this lawsuit, as if it doesn't hold up, if they don't win, there's a chance they might lose that patent. Now, I'm no expert in patents. I understand why they are a thing, and sometimes a company creates something that's very unique and they want to retain all rights and control of it. In the realm of video games, however, it seems like patents
stupid
only
in my
serve
personal
to stifle
opinion.
creativity in the industry and limit what other developers are allowed to create.
Yeah.
Remember how Warner Brothers patented that Nemesis mechanic from Shadow of Mordor?
Dude, Dude, if the nemesis mechanic was available for like all other video game people to use it or so, oh my god, we would have probably had some really great video games with the whole nemesis mechanic and everything. But no, Warner Bros wants to be a dick about it and want to fucking patent it, and they're not even using it. What a fucking bunch of dumbasses they are.
That system where you could fight different orc leaders and it was procedurally generated. It was like this really cool rival system and you could defeat the leadership of the orcs. This feature was super cool and unique. And it's an idea that should be allowed to be expanded upon and iterated on by other developers. And yet, it's only been used in 2 games, and the rest of us gamers are just left wondering how this system could have been brought to other franchises and other RPGs if that patent didn't exist. Imagine this.
Yeah, but they aren't doing anything. That's the problem. They're literally not doing anything. They're not shitting out games like Call of Duty. Like, if it's greed or so, well, they're not making money off of it right now. So it's just like, it's a waste. It's useless.
What if PUBG had successfully patented the Battle Royale genre, like the Battle Royale game mode? I don't know if they tried or were able to do that at all. I mean, crazier things have happened. But what if they had also won their lawsuit against Epic Games and Fortnite was shut down? Imagine what life would be like if Fortnite was shut down in 2018. We would have lost this.
If we would have lost Fortnite to PUBG, I think the video game industry would be a little bit more healthier. Because you want to know the reason why? We wouldn't have 10 billion fucking battle royale games coming out all at the same time, you know? We would literally not have so many goddamn fucking battle royale games coming out, you know? Because everybody's got to make a battle royale game, right? Fucking Call of Duty got to make a battle royale game. Fucking this game, fucking that game has to have a battle royale game. Even people said it's like, oh, Halo, the Halo Infinite needs to have a battle royale game too in order for this game to survive, you know? And it's just kind of like, bruh. I'm like, that specific kind of mindset is just terrible. Like, oh, no FPS game can survive unless they have a battle royale game. It's just like, no, fuck off, dude. Not every fucking game needs to have a battle royale game. Just because you're addicted and you're cracked out or so on battle royales that you need a fucking new battle royale game for you to survive on. No, sometimes we just want a normal multiplayer game. That's it, man. Honestly. Like, people who literally says, like, oh, you know, you gotta have a battle royale game or else it won't survive. Like, well, then maybe it's just not catered for you, okay? All right? Maybe the game is just not catered for you, you know? Maybe you should go play something else, you know? You can go back to your battle royale game.
Peter Griffin and fight Goku over the Thanos gauntlet. And I don't want to live in that world. Thankfully, we don't. I think it's pretty obvious that if Nintendo and the Pokemon Company had their way, if their wish was granted,
it would be a little bit more healthier just because the only reason why, right? We won't have fucking 10 billion fucking battle royale games, you know? You know, we would probably, instead of having Apex, we would have Titanfall 3, you know? I'm just saying, you know? You know, that could have been a timeline that we would have had Titanfall 3 instead of Apex. I'm just saying, you know, we could have had it, but you know, the battle royale genre just took over the storm or so, and everyone's been brainwashed or so to be playing battle royale games all the time, you know.
Pal World would just be completely shut down and Pocket Pair would go bankrupt. But we need games like Pal World. We need games like Fortnite because direct competition means that we win as consumers because companies have to work harder to earn our money. They have to make better products, innovate, and create something fresh and new that we're going to be interested in. By trying to find some legal loophole to take down Pal World, I think it's pretty clear that Pokemon doesn't want competition. They don't want to make better
games. Of course
games.
They don't.
And Pokemon has been the most static franchise, I think, in my lifetime. And yes, it is the most profitable, but it's not the most fun. I guess I just wish that Game Freak would work as hard as Nintendo's legal team does when it comes to making Pokemon games. But I digress.
It's not even Nintendo. It's fucking Game Freak. Game Freak is the one that makes Pokemon games, you know? Modern game genres like FPS, RTS, and Battle Royales put less emphasis on individual skills and one-on-ones. It makes me stick out among my peers like sore thumb for not liking them.
Isn't it
I don't really like FPS. Well, not FPS, but like the battle royale genre. You know, I can't really like sit down and play longer than like 2 hours, 3 or 4. I get so bored. I try to hang in there or so when I'm playing on stream or so, but I'm just like, fuck, dude, I don't want to play this shit.
strange that
I'm
just
like,
a
fuck
week or
this,
two
dude.
after
I really don't
Nintendo
wanna play
filed a
this.
lawsuit against Power World, there was a massive amount of info leaked from Game Freak.
This is impossible!
And now we're going to take a look at some of what leaked it. There is no God. He abandoned us the moment this leak was revealed. My childhood has been irreparably damaged by reading some of this crap. Typhlosion, why would you do this, man? Why would you do this? Game Freak? More like Goon Freak? What the hell is this shit? We're gonna get into it, okay? Now, I'm not sure how much of this I can show you. Yeah, the assassins are still out there. You know what? Fuck it. We'll look at some stuff. But apparently Game Freak...
Bro, there's one dude who's literally been doing like what, like almost like 11, 12 parts of the Pokemon leaks. Like it's fine. It's not a really huge deal.
Had their servers hacked back in August, and they said that sensitive employee information had been leaked, but as of this moment, I don't believe they've directly addressed the Pokemon leaks. Makes you wonder if this is just pure coincidence. If they were hacked back in August, why reveal all this stuff now, so soon after the Power World lawsuit? Maybe it's a coincidence, but as one trained in the Force.
You know that true coincidences are rare.
I won't share too much about their upcoming projects, like games that they have planned, because, you know, maybe some people watching this just want to wait for official announcements so they can be surprised and hyped and, you know, not have that spoiled for them. But if you want to look that stuff up, well, just be prepared for Nintendo's assassins to show up outside of your house. Those fuckers are everywhere. Now, there were some innocuous things that got leaked, like beta Pokemon designs from various generations, which I think are really cool. This one kind of looks like Drudagon, Genesect, I don't know. Oh, this is Hydreigon. And look at this shit. Actually, that's like the Floatzel inner tube thing. Does he wear an inner tube? I don't know. This is supposed to be Mudkip though. An early version of Mudkip. I like this Trico, and I think the real Torchic is better. But look at this shit. Look at this early version of
This is
Metagross.
cool.
What unholy abomination
I don't know if it's supposed to be Metagross, but would have been cool though.
is this? It kind of makes you wish we got some darker, more mature Pokemon games. Look at this Nightmare Fuel.
That one is
Sure.
cool. I have to say that was a cool
Interesting
design.
Looking at this stuff. Some of these early designs, they almost look like Pokemon that came out of that Pokemon Fusion thing. I think a lot of this stuff is really cool. I mean, it's always nice to see behind the scenes stuff for your favorite franchises. I have no idea how someone managed to get these ancient files. I mean, pre-release sprites of Gen 3 Pokemon, that goes back a few years. But I'm also curious as to why Nintendo has never released this stuff officially. I think maybe looking at some of the other leaks will answer that question. You know, fans are always hungry for more, but then again, when we look at what else was leaked, maybe the Covenant never should have opened that weapons cache. So one of the leaked Pokemon stories written by Game Freak was about a girl married a Pokemon.
Ugh. Brother, ugh. What's that?
Married a Typhlosion.
Typhlosion? What are you laughing at?
Because she was tricked into thinking it was a human, and they end up having a child together.
Nice.
What the fuck?
Have you not read like have you like not read I would assume this person is like oblivious to like the hentai scene, you know, with Pokemon, you know. Like honestly, that shit has been there since like who fucking knows, you know. The fucking hentai scene for Pokemon has been there for like forever, you know? So I'm just saying, you know, it's been there for a long time. I'm gonna be honest with you, these hentai story artists and like and whatnot, right? Is like they've been ahead of the game, you know, for like a while. They've been there for a long time, bro. That shit this shit is literally nothing new to me about the Typhlosion thing. About like, oh yeah, Typhlosion having sex or so with a girl or so and whatnot and whatnot. And I'm just like, okay, is this like your first time like being like decensored or so, or like, you know, off the internet? It's the fucking internet. What do you expect?
A human Pokemon hybrid, the girl's father finds out and kills the Typhlosion.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
I used to think I'd read and heard it all, but this isn't some Vaporeon fanfic. This is written by Game Freak. Now, to be fair, we don't know what the context of this story is, or if they ever intended on implementing it in a game or something. I've heard people saying that some of these tales are meant to reflect mythology and folk tales, but it's just very jarring as a Pokemon fan who's seen this franchise from my childhood to read some of this stuff.
You do know there's some dark stuff or so in Pokemon, right? Like, does he not know about like, does he not know that there's actually like dark stuff in Pokemon? In some of the Pokemon entries too as well? Like, are we just gonna kind of like gloss that over, that like, you know, Drifloon like kidnaps kids or so, you know? like there's some dark entries or so in Pokemon. It's not sunshine and rainbows what he thinks, you know? Am I like the only one who knows that there's like dark shit in Pokemon? Like are we just gonna like forget that?
I mean, there's some dark stuff in Pokemon, but you know, some of this stuff, it doesn't hold a candle to Lavender Town. Now, obviously none of this stuff was released, so it's not canon, and for good reason. These ideas were left on the cutting.
No, these are canon, to be honest. You want to know the reason why? Because they fucking wrote it. And that shit is in detailed form, 100%. So they were, so that shit is fucking legit, okay? All right, all of it is fucking legit, okay? All right, all the sprites, the lore, the fucking like who on the power scale, who's the strongest Pokemon? Like there is some like the dude literally said this is lore shit. So all of this is fucking canon. The only thing that just hasn't been done or so is like they just haven't been implemented in the game. That's about it. But they fucking wrote this shit out, okay? Because like the creator fucking made this entire map or so of like who's the strongest Pokemon, like, and all this other shit, you know? So
room floor. But it is entertaining to make fun of them, as people have been doing on Twitter. You know, I have the chat logs here. I just came here to get some berries. How it feels to be a Typhlosion fan right now. Yeah, whatever you do, don't look up the Slackoth story. Don't look that up. Don't read it. Don't. I think this video would get demonetized if I read some of this. So at the end of the day, I think Pokemon fans are reasonably shocked by some of these revelations, all of this shit coming out at once. I'm not sure how to feel about the leaks. Part of me is happy to see some of the old concept art and scrapped Pokemon designs from the games I loved. I enjoy seeing behind the scenes stuff, and I think it's really cool to get an inside look at the design process, see early concept art for one Pokemon, and then compare it to the final design. But the other part of me wishes I could live in a world where I still thought Typhlosion was a cool Pokemon. Regardless, these leaks come at a very interesting time where Nintendo is dealing with a major lawsuit against a competitor, and I think this is just gonna piss them off. And so it looks like they're getting some ammo delivered. Okay. If I mysteriously disappear, I didn't take my own life. Just remember that. Just remember that. But what do you think about the recent leaks and the lawsuit? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the Act Man for more awesome content. All right, everyone, that's all I got for today. This is the Act Man signing out.
Take shot.
Peace.
Tango down.
What's up?
yeah, like I said, right? You know, like I said, there's some pretty disturbing and dark stuff about about Pokemon. Like there was already some pretty dark and very scary things about Pokemon. So it's technically like not out of the realm of possibility that this was a thing or so, right? That Pokemon was. It's not really sunshine and rainbows, okay? All right, Pokemon is not what you think it is. So, but yeah. Anyways, I just wanted to see this or so, you know. Like I said, you know, the whole Nintendo. Like I said, I don't really approve what Nintendo does at the end of the day. So I think Nintendo's a piece of shit company overall. You know, well, Game Freak in general. You know, well, I don't really know who's doing the pulling of the strings or so, right? I don't know if it's Game Freaks, but I'm blaming both of them until one of them comes forward and saying, "Oh, we are not the ones who did it." You know, it's fucking them that did it. Then yeah. But at the moment, I hold both of them accountability because they're both, you know, one of them because they're lazy or so and they won't make a very good Pokemon game, and the other one is just being a dickhead or so about their IPs and everything. So yeah, that's about it. But anyways, you guys can comment, like, subscribe, do all that fancy jazzy stuff, and yeah, the Pokemon leagues are pretty fucking insane. I do have to say though, the Pokemon leagues are insane. And also at the end of the day, right? I'm not really surprised on the whole weird lore of Typhlosion, Slack King, and the Octopus Pokemon Octillery or whatever it's called or so. I'm not really surprised because for at the end of the day, right? If you've read or if you're ever part of the hentai community or the hentai scene, shit goes crazy when it comes to the Pokemon stuff. I'm just saying, you know, I've read a few Pokemon Dojin hentais. So it's like, is it crazy? To me, no. Not really, to be honest. It really is not. It's just kind of like, oh, okay. Meh. I've seen crazier, but yeah. But hey, what's his name? At least Hypno is out of the clear, you know, I guess you can say that, you know. question mark, you know. But anyways, yeah, that's the end of the video, and it's time to go look at some more Pokemon leaks, and peace.